So, okay, I think we can start now. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Brain Conference, which is on soft skills. And I think we can proceed now. Let's start with an open prayer. Can we just have a short prayer? Heavenly Father, we appreciate you for this moment. Thank you for this opportunity to gather again to learn. Thank you for this privilege you've given to us. That you ask that as we go into this program, you go with us, that we'll learn what that you have prepared for us this evening. And we pray that whatever we'll be hearing, whatever we'll be listening to, whatever we'll be jotting down will be useful for our career, for our life. In Jesus' name, amen. So I will hand over to Dr. Temi to invite our speaker. I think she's on the call now. So Dr. Temi, over to you.
And how are we doing? Welcome once again to this edition of Brains Conference, and it's such a privilege to have our guest speaker in our midst. I want to believe he's around. Please, can we confirm that he's here already?
Yes, he is.
All right, all
Yes,
right.
he's around.
Thank you very much. So, bringing him forward, I would like to read a short bio. Our guest speaker is Tobiloba Abolarin, a dedicated human resource and management professional with expertise in strategic people management. He currently serves as the head of HR and admin at Ariel Technologies Limited, where he oversees recruitment, training, and performance appraisals and administrative operations, aligning talent strategies with organizational goals. His prior roles at Bridgegap Consults Limited and Pickup Logistics showcase his proficiency in talent acquisition and HR strategy implementation. He holds a Bachelor of Technology in Entrepreneurship Management Technology from the Federal University of Technology, Akure, graduating with distinction. Olatobiloba has earned certifications from esteemed institutions, including the Human Resource Certification Institute, Talent Acquisition and Compensation and Benefits, Saylor Academy, Human Resource Management, Macquarie University, Organizational Behavior, and the University of Minnesota, preparing to manage human resources. With a strong foundation in HR analytics and leadership skills, he excels in problem solving, strategic thinking, and decision making. His passion for leveraging data driven insights to optimize workforce effectiveness underscores his commitment to driving organizational success. With this level of knowledge, I want to believe that we all are pumped and ready to learn this evening, even as we bring up our guest speaker for tonight, Mr. Tobiloba Abolarin. You're so much welcome, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, please,
Good
I would
evening,
like you
sir.
guys to confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, let me try and put my camera on so that you can put a face to the name. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. I would like to appreciate the organizers of this event for the invitation to speak with, I would like to believe, intending professionals and maybe professionals, uh, people that are already in the professional world. Uh, well, thank you for the introduction and the biography. My name is Tobiloba Emmanuel. Um, I'm sure we are aware of the essence of this webinar, of this conference. I would like to call it a conference, which is centered on in-demand soft skills for the work industries. I think that's the topic of the theme of the conference, of the webinar. So we don't waste much of our time. I have a time that has been assigned to me, time limit. So, and I would like to touch a lot. I can say that we are not a large number, which for me I appreciate. Impact the purpose is people being impacted, not about the number of people being impacted, people being impacted. So as long as people here get to leave this webinar with something new, with a new idea, with a new understanding, I'm okay with that. That's a level of impact on my own end. So to dive into the conversation around the topic that has been given to me to speak on, I will be sharing my screen. So it's going to be in form of a presentation, and the purpose is that I'm somebody that when I'm speaking, I like to put uh, an image to what I'm saying. At least you can see it, you can read through it, you can have an overview of what I want to speak about. So I'll be sharing my screen now for us to see. We can dive into. So I also want you guys to confirm if you can see my screen.
We can see your
Sca-
screen, sir.
You can see my screen. All right, thank you.
Yes, we can.
So yes, so the topic is in-demand soft skills for the work industry, right? So I kind of uh, crafted a new topic for this presentation. Not new, but same from the topic that was given to me. Something that will really address what I'll be speaking to us about this evening, which is mastering the art of soft skills, your secret weapon in the workplace. Workplace, marketplace, anyone. It goes, whether it's a workplace for you or it's a marketplace for you. These soft skills applies in all scenarios. So we're looking at how we can master those soft skills that we can master to effectively make impact in the workplace. So beyond what you know how to do, there are some other elements or some other skill set that is expected of every professional or intending professional to have, which is what we'll be discussing in this webinar. So let me just go into our introduction. So we know that the world we are in is not competitive. So to actually survive within the parameter of the workplace, you have to have some level of understanding about some set of capacity that you need to have as an individual if you really want to survive. If you really want to make an impact, if you want to be differentiated in this current workplace that we are, because of the competitiveness of the nature of the workplace that we are. So I said in today's competitive workplace, soft skills have become a critical asset. It has become a critical asset beyond the technical know-how, beyond the technical skills that you may have as an individual or as a professional, as an intended professional. It is now expected that you develop some level of understanding as regards the soft skills that is essential for the workplace. So they enhance your ability to communicate, collaborate, and innovate. So that is the purpose of it's centered around these 3 points. These set skills are centered around you having the understanding to communicate, to collaborate, and to innovate. So this webinar is we'll explore how mastering these skills can be a secret weapon for success. So next, what is actually soft skills? Because when we hear soft skills, a lot of us would like to have an understanding of what soft skill is. So soft skills refers to personal attributes that enables effective interpersonal interaction. Unlike technical skills, I've mentioned that initially. Unlike technical skills, they include communication, empathy, and teamwork. Understanding these skills is essential for personal and professional growth. So, what are soft skills? So, I mentioned that I said beyond what you know how to do, your technical know-how, there are some personal attributes, some traits, some knowing as regards a workplace that is expected of every individual to have. So you know how to do the job, but there are other elements that says a lot about your capacity on delivering on the job. So the end goal is productivity. What the workplace, what the work environment to find yourself, or the business environment to find yourself is after is you being productive. Now, productivity is not just a function of your technical know-how. Productivity is a combination of your technical know-how and your ability to exhibit the right interpersonal interaction skills within the workplace, which is where soft skill comes in. So beyond what you can do, for instance, you are an engineer by training, or you are a management person by training, or you are an agricultural person by training, regardless of the technical know-how you went through, that training you went through when you were in school, there are some set of skills that you must own as an individual to be able to advance within the career space, within the professional environment, within a workplace. And this is where the soft skills comes in. And that is why we are having this webinar, so that we can harness, we can bring an understanding to this subject of soft skills for professionals, for individuals that wants to interact within the workplace, within the work industry. So, and the first of it is communication. And the funnest part is that I would like to believe that majority of us are familiar with what communication is. Please, I would like to hear some feedback, at least to be sure that I am speaking with the people and you guys are still with me. So when I kind of ask the question, I would like to get a response from us. I will appreciate that. So effective communication. So we all understand what communication is. I would like to believe that. But beyond
Okay.
just knowing what it is, do we understand what it represents? So we know communication, but do we know what effective communication is? So here I said effective communication is the cornerstone of workplace success, because the productivities and the success of every work environment, every industry, every business environment is centered around communication. You cannot push people to work, push people to deliver on the job without communicating the essence or the vision behind the business. So that is why communication is very important. Within a team, you cannot drive people to work. You cannot manage a team. You cannot manage a workforce if you do not understand the concept of communication. Now, it goes beyond just communication. When you hear effective communication, now, this is my analogy. I want you guys to listen before we go to the next, the other part of the slide. For communication, there are basic elements that play out within the scope of communication. We have the sender, we have the receiver, and we have the medium. So whether it's a written communication or an oral communication, these elements play out. Who is the sender? Does the sender understand the right medium to use to communicate to the receiver? Is the receiver actually getting what the sender is communicating? Is the perfect medium of communication being used? I want us to pay attention. So you are an individual, you are communicating a certain task to your team members, which I will term the receivers, or a team member, which is a receiver. The medium at which that is communicated is very important. And at the receiving end, do you comprehend what was communicated? Because communication is not complete until there's a mutual understanding between the sender and the receiver. So we keep hammering. I asked to do something, you do not do it. Why are you not delivering your task, without understanding that there's a possibility that this person that is supposed to receive this information did not understand, did not comprehend. So the other part of the slide says that it involves not just speaking, but also listening and understanding others. So as much as you are an individual where you are, maybe you are supposed to be in a position of leadership, and you are dishing out instruction, you are dishing out tasks to your subordinates, there's a place of you listening to the feedback on every task you assign to them, on any communications made. There should be a form of having an environment where you can also listen, because when you are speaking and you're not getting a feedback from whosoever you're speaking to, communication is not complete. There must be a point that communicates that they understand. The moment they understand, the moment there's understanding between the parties that play out, and the right medium is used. For instance, you are supposed to send a certain task or a document to your team members as a lead, and the right medium, which is the right platform to use to send that, is via mail, but you chose to send it through WhatsApp or through another medium, and the person did not receive or did not acknowledge that, and you are not taking fault, You are seeing it as insubordination because they did not respond to whatever you sent to them without you understanding that the right medium was not used. Or let me bring it to another scenario. You have an issue with a colleague and you want to communicate your displeasure to that colleague, but you chose the wrong tone. You chose the wrong approach to communicate it. Communication is not complete. Because whatever reaction you get from that person is determinant on how you make the communication to the person. So, and the purpose of communication is to foster a positive work environment, to build trust. So, at the back of our mind, we should always have the understanding that the purpose of communication is that you want to achieve a goal. You want to create a positive work environment. Then I must focus on the goal, not just what I think communication is. I must achieve. So until the goal is achieved, communication is not complete. I want us to understand that. Another point I want to speak about is emotional intelligence. So we've spoken about communication as a soft skill to own or to have as a professional or as an individual that wants to operate within the workspace. Another soft skill is emotional intelligence. Now, there's this cliche belief or discussion around emotional intelligence, and as important as it is, a lot of us has gotten so used to the language that we do not understand the concept behind it. A lot of people say, I want to work with people that are emotionally intelligent. I want, even when we bring it to the place of partners or personal relationship, I want an emotional intelligence partner. I want to work with a colleague, a team member that is emotionally intelligent. But the concept of it, do we understand it? Have we owned the skill? Can we navigate the social complexity and emotion of others? Now you are in a work environment, you have a colleague that you notice that the mood is not good, it's not great. And you need this colleague to work with to achieve a certain goal. You need a colleague, you need this colleague to work with to be able to complete on a task. But instead of you to see, to sense and comprehend that there's something wrong with the emotional stability of this person, and the moment you just shove the task into their neck. Why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? Without you sensing that there might be something wrong with this person. Let's always bear in mind that the end goal of owning all of these skills is to be able to drive productivity in the workplace, is to be able to compete positively in the work environment. So, but we having the understanding is very important. So the emotion of your colleague, emotion of your team members, emotion of even your superior is important because understanding emotions of individuals in the workplace will give you a better understanding on how to manage those emotions. So you are aware of it first. That's it. That's the first place. That's when you can even know if you're an emotional, intelligent person. Awareness, social awareness. You are aware of this complexity within the workplace, the interaction of the emotions of individuals and group of people within the workplace. You are aware of it. So when you have that awareness, then you can now begin to manage. You cannot begin to interact with that awareness. So your interaction with that awareness is what betters empathy in the workplace. You are now interacting with what you are aware of. So you express empathy, or you ask them, you engage them. Oh, what's the issue? Is there anything you can? Is there anything you can help? What are you going through? Because at the end of the day, when an employee understands that okay, they are part of a system, they are part of something, and they know that they have team members that they are concerned about them, it helps them drive. It gives them the drive and the morale to work. So we have to understand this. That's another soft skill. Understand the intricacy that goes into the emotions of people within the workplace. If you can master this, it will be easy for you to lead people within the workplace. You can lead a team because you know how to manage and to navigate the issues and the complexity around their emotions. Another point is, which another skills that we have to earn as individuals within the workplace is building strong relationship. We have people that always believe that, let me just come to work and do my job and leave. One man mopo. They don't know how to interact with people in the workplace. They don't know how to build a relationship with people. They don't know how to collaborate. So how do you drive productivity? No business operates on its own. So no individual can actually operate by itself. See, a business what runs a business is the combination of collaboration of efforts, collaboration of ideas, collaboration of intelligence, collaboration of expertise. So if you as an individual wants to really survive and operate within a work environment, within a work industry, you have to understand that building strong relationship is vital. Now, I want to make this very clear. It is not a must to have a personal relationship with people within the workplace. It is not a must, but you must have a working relationship with people in the workplace, with your colleague, with your team. Because see, the way you can drive teamwork is you cannot drive teamwork with an individual you do not have some sort of working relationship with. So you are put in a team. So you've always been one man mopo. And the thing is that it's not a bad thing to be able to do a job and get it done and time and deliver the quality of work expected. It is not a crime. But understand that a time will come within the operation of a business that you will be put in a team. So how do you survive? See, the thing I've noticed that some people, when it comes to doing things by themselves, they will deliver the best. They will give you the utmost, the perfect quality of work you want. But put them in a team, they are useless. By the time they are put in a team, they become non-functional. They cannot do anything. They look as if they are not even sane. And the problem is that they've not learnt that skill of building work relationship, a strong work relationship within the working environment. It drives productivity. So we have to take time to invest in getting to know your colleagues on the work level, on the service level. It doesn't have to be deep, but be able to interact with them so that you can build a relationship that will foster productivity and innovation within the work environment. So we always ask yourself, how well do I know how to interact with people in the workplace? You see, the thing is that you cannot attain leadership positions within a work environment if you don't know how to build a relationship with people. You want to lead a team, you don't have any form of interaction with your teammates. How do you want to put them to work? How do you want to understand even their personality and what even drives them to work? So that's what relationship does. You know them, you understand what their mind is, you understand where their head is, and you can know what to do to drive them to work. You know how to come in as an individual, how to encourage them because you understand. And that understanding came from building that relationship with them. So it is important that we have some sort of relationship with people within the workplace. It doesn't have to be personal, as I've said. It doesn't have to be deep, but it has to be a working relationship. Another point, another soft skill that I want to talk about is adaptability in the work environment. See, so the funniest thing is that a lot of us say change is a constant thing. Change is a constant thing. I feel like it has become a cliche statement that people don't really understand the analogy between behind that statement. The fact behind that statement, a lot of people don't understand. We keep saying change is a constant thing, but when that change comes, we struggle. When the change comes, we struggle. So how well do you adapt to new ways of doing things, new approach of doing things in within a work environment? See, the fact is that if you really want to operate within the work industry, within the working environment, within a business environment, flexibility is key. See, if you are a rigid individual, see, you will become obsolete. You will become obsolete. If you're a rigid individual, you will become obsolete. See, because adaptability is a nature, is a skill that you have to have if you're an individual that's ready to embrace innovation. And that is the goal. Every business looks for a new way of doing things, looks for a new process of doing things. But if you as a professional, as an individual, do not know how to embrace this change, you will struggle. How do you bet new opportunities, new ideas if you cannot if you're not adaptable to change? If you do not have adaptability as a skill within the workplace, how do you even bet innovation as an individual if you cannot adapt to new things? So for you to be able to build confidence in new and seize new opportunities, you have to be able to adapt. See, being rigid will not give you what you want, especially if you're operating in some industry. Because now we have to understand the peculiarity of the industry we find ourselves. There's some industry that you have to embrace the new way of doing things. And let me set a personal experience. My former job before my current job, when I got on the job, one of the things that I noticed was the way of doing things. And as much as I appreciate we get the results, it is not just about getting the results, it's about efficiency. I tell people to be effective is one thing, to be efficient is another thing. You can be effective and not be efficient. So what is the difference between effectiveness and efficiency? Effectiveness gets the job done. effectiveness get results. Efficiency maximize the right process to get the results. So it's not just about getting the results, which is effective. Oh, I did it, I got the job. But the process by which you got that result, how great is that process? So efficiency is the way of maximizing the process to be able to get the optimal result, not just the best result. You optimize your process to get the maximum result from an individual. That is efficiency. So if you're an individual that, so one of the things I noticed was that there was a method we used to do things, and we were getting the result, but it was taking a long time. We were given a task, we have to use the normal way. This is the way we do here. This is the way we do here. And I told my lead there, I said, we can do this a different way. And I tried it, and I got my result, and I gave it to her. I finished the task in a fast. I got it faster, and I still got a better result because I was trying to be efficient. And over time, she began to embrace that change. So she began to use that approach until it became a new way of doing things. But if she was somebody that struggled with adapting a new method, we won't be able to get the best out of that situation. We won't be able to get the efficient result we wanted as an organization. So you have to be adaptable to new things within the working environment. Another point is another soft skill is uh conflict resolution. So I'm looking at my time. Resolution. Conflict resolution is one thing you must know, one skill you must build as if you intend to lead at any point in your life as a professional, as an individual. Conflict resolution is inevitable. Skills. You have to own that skill. Because how do you address issues with the workplace if you've not learned conflict resolution skills? Even within your colleague, you can constructively bring solutions to issues because you understand how to resolve conflict. You're not resolving conflict to create more issues within the team, but the essence of it is to build trust and cohesion within your team. You want some sort of bond within the team. So when there are issues within colleagues or you're a lead, there are issues within your colleagues, you can call them, constructively address the issue, not the individuals. So another thing that helps in conflict resolution is ability to separate issues from persons. See, the moment you know how to separate an issue from an individual, you will master the act of conflict resolution. Because at the end of the goal is to address the issue. So you don't attack people and leave the issues. So which is one of the things I've observed when people are trying to address issues. They focus on the person, not the issues. The idea is to have a strong working environment, a great working environment. And when there are issues of dispute within the team, you are expected to be able to resolve that issue by bringing the parties involved, hearing their sides, and see how you can navigate their differences and bring us to a point of understanding that at the end of the good day, we want to achieve a goal. And you both of you working together will give us the results we want. So put your differences aside and focus on the task at hand and be able to work together. Team cohesion and build trust within the team. So if you understand that issues and individuals are two different entities, your ability to resolve issues will be something that will amaze you yourself. So we have to build this. It's essential we have this skill as people that want to operate within the work environment. Another skill is the power of the teamwork skill. So this is, see, some of these skills I'm speaking about, I'm touching on things that we've heard before. But I just want to, the purpose of the webinar is just to enlighten us, to open our mind, to have better understanding on how to go about it. Better understanding on how to go about it. So teamwork is about leveraging the strength of diverse individuals to achieve common goals. That's simple as that. So the teamwork makes the team work. So I say it all the time that you're not see, if you want to know how great you are as a leader, you should not be the smartest in your team. The smartness of your team should be a combination of the individuals of that team. The level of capacity of your team is not by what you know as a leader, but by the capacity of the people within your team. On how well can you leverage that strength, harness that strength to drive productivity to ensure that the goal that you want as an organization is achieved. So, how well can you drive your team to work? Can you work within a team? Can you lead a team to work? See, a leader that can put people to work is an ideal leader. So, and all of these skills is still, if we observe, we see that as a leader, these are things that makes you a leader. So leadership as a skill on its own cannot is not a skill until some element of set soft skills are put together in such individual. So your ability to combine some of these self skills that I've mentioned is what makes you a true leader. So cultivating a collaborative spirit can lead to innovative solutions and more dynamic workplace culture. Because the idea is you want to build a team that is solid enough to achieve the goal set. So ability to leverage on their strengths. There's in business, there are two things. There are two things I usually refers to for business individuals, that other resources that you can leverage on to drive to achieve your goals. One, other people's money, other people's strength. Other people's money could be money from friends and all of that. Other people's strength is the capacity of the people you have in your team. So if you can harness that, if you have that understanding, you will go far at maximizing the strength of your team. The diversity of the team, see, diversity is a beauty. The diversity of a team is a beauty of the essence of the people in that team. When you have a team of diverse individuals, that is a plus to an organization, because it's an avenue to see people, individuals with different level of strength, and how this strength can be put together to achieve a goal for the organization. Another set skill is creative problem solving, creative problem solving. So we know we are familiar with I want to say a problem solving. Problem solving is a self skill. So ability for you to think outside the box and approach challenge with an open mind. Every individual is expected to have some level of creativity that solves problems, because at every point in your career you will reach a point, you reach a bottleneck, you reach a moment where it seems difficult. It looks like you don't know what to do. And that is where your ability to solve problems comes in. For instance, let me use personal experience. There are times that there will be challenges in the workplace, not literally even centered on my own JD, but it's a challenge that affects the operation of the organization. My ability to think outside the box and resolve to a solution is one skill that will help me, give me a voice in the organization, and help me bring the company out of that situation. I've had instances like that when we have to think outside the box. What can we do? How can we get this done? Oh, you are within a team, you are managing a team, your team is struggling. What is that thing you can do that can drive a change, that can bring solution and encourage collaboration and innovation within your team? That is thinking outside the box. That is creativity. That is problem solving skills. You must be able to think, find solution. When it looks tough, tell yourself, I can do it. There's a capacity of ourselves that we do not know exists until we look inward and unleash that thing inside of us. You will never know how capable you are to resolve issues when you get some until you reach some point. When you face some hurdles in life, that is when you will know the capacity of your problem solving. But you have to build it. You have to build it as an individual. Another soft skills that I want to talk about is uh networking. This particular skill is what me personally I'm being particular about. I'm building on it. Networking. It's straight from, so you know, this networking and relationship building. We have people that we we advance faster in their career because they know how to network. You can network at events. You can network within your, even within your industry, within your colleagues, by interacting, exchanging. So when you go out, when you see people, ability for you to interact with them, build some meaningful relationship. So for you that you are in a sort of you own your own business, or you work at a as a sales. Okay, for instance, let me use a salesperson as an instance. A salesperson that does not understand networking can never drive sales. We struggle with driving sales because networking will help you to exchange. Okay, you meet people, you discuss with them, you let them know what you do, you exchange ideas, you build a relationship with them, because at the end of the day, you want to seize an opportunity. You want to seize an opportunity. You want to seize a support from them. So if you don't understand the power of networking, you're, you're missing a lot. You are missing a lot. If you do not understand the power of networking, you are missing a lot. It is very important that we own the skill of networking. When you step out, meet people, interact with them. There are resources that you will not get until you interact with other people. There are people that will play a vital role in your career and your business endeavors on you will not see until you interact with them, until you step out, until you build a relationship with them. We have people that have gone far in businesses, in career today, just because of the network, just because they interact and the opportunity came and they seize the opportunity. So if you really want to survive within the work environment as an individual, you must learn how to network. I know a lot of people may struggle with, I don't know how to speak with people, I'm shy. If you know that you need that for your life and your career, you will look beyond your weakness. You look beyond your weakness. Another skill, which is I'm almost rounding off, is continuous learning and growth. So there's something I say that a mind that understands learning is a mind that drives productivity and innovation. See, you can never, no one is an island of knowledge. You can never stop knowing. See, embracing a mindset of continuous learning is one of the important soft skills you have to learn. See, you must continually seek knowledge. Soft skills can always be developed and refined. When you attend workshops, so for this webinar, is this an avenue to build on what you have, to build on your knowledge. You are building based on what you already know. So continuous learning helps you build capacity, helps you understand the better way of doing things, helps you know that okay, you can do more, you know more, you have more as an individual. And attending workshops, attending seminar, webinar like this, I'll miss by which you build on learning and growth, personal research, personal understanding, personal seeking of knowledge, personal reflection of what you know and what you need to know, and means by which you can spring forth the desire to learn. Once you know there are areas that you need to improve on, there are things you do not have as an individual, learning will be your goal. So learning is one skill that can help you build, that can help you improve on your productivity as an individual within the work environment. And in conclusion, I think I'm within time. In conclusion, building, mastering soft skills is not just beneficiary, it is essential for career success. So by focusing on these skills, you can significantly improve workplace effectiveness and unlock new opportunities in your professional journey. So if you can master some of the skills that I've mentioned, there are more, but these skills that I've mentioned are crucial. Mastering these skills is important towards your career success. So you can never scale higher within your career field if you don't know if you have not mastered some of the soft skills. You will struggle as a leader, you will struggle as a professional if you have not mastered the soft skills. And let me say something before I round up. I used to say this as an HR professional. When you interview people for a certain role, it goes beyond your technical know-how. To get the best candidate for a job, it goes beyond technical know-how. So in a situation that you have three people that they own the skill, they know what to do, they know they have the capacity to do it. Now, how do you differentiate who should get the job? How do you identify the best person for the job? It's the soft skills. You look beyond their technical know-how. Who has the soft skills that's essential for this role? Who is a great communicator? From their interview, you can sense that. Who is somebody that is attentive? Who is somebody that knows how to drive teamwork? That has an experience leading a team? Who is that person that can collaborate? Who is that person that can adapt to new method? Who is that person that's innovative? There are things that recruiters look beyond. They will look beyond your technical skills because now they have options and they want to pick the best. And for an individual that has not mastered some of these soft skills, it kicks you out of that option of that interview. Because the person that owns that level of skills, that has mastered these soft skills and has been dictated during the interview, we get the job. So you will have to know that beyond the technical, there's more to what you have to know. There's more to what you have to have as a professional. And I hope I'm able to enlighten us during this short period of time on the importance and how we can master these soft skills and have a secret weapon to operate within the work environment. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for this opportunity too. So I don't know if there are questions. So I don't know if there are questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I've really learned a lot, really. So, yes, thank you so much. So, we'll be giving you for questions and answers, question to come in. So, I would want that if you have a question at the moment, kindly raise your virtual hand. Although I already have a couple of questions with me that I am going to be reading out. Uh, I would really, first of all, again say thank you so much. Thank you so much for this very inspiring talk. And yeah, it's quite, yeah, I think for me, I can so much relate, and most especially the aspect of networking, right? And I see how much I seem to struggle with it. And for my friends who do very well with it, I see what they come out of it, how opportunities are open up to them through it. So thank you so much, sir. So please, if you have a question, please kindly drop your question or just raise your hand. I want to. Yeah. So, okay. So I'm going to start with the question I have here. Sir, are you with me? Can you hear me,
Yes,
sir?
yes, I can hear you. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. So the first question says that said the person said, how can recent graduates or early career professionals stand out if they lack work experience? So more like if they lack work experience and probably they have very good soft skills.
Okay. All right. So for that question, now the thing is that I would like to say this for somebody in that situation. When I get to interview people, one of the things that I spot out is you having an understanding of the role. You may not really completely have the experience, but you have the understanding of the role. So because now, aside the fact that one, what are you going for? You do not have experience and you are seeking for an opportunity. What are you gunning for? What do you want? Are you the one that is seeking for uh, a role that's asking for 3 years experience? So we have to understand that if you are seeking an opportunity and you do not have the experience, but you have the sales skill, look for internship. I tell people, not every business, no, you cannot enter every role based on just knowledge. You need some sort of experience. So if you know
Hmm.
that this role requires a level of experience and I do not have, I need to build that on that experience. Let me see if there are entry level roles, if there are internship within this phase, within this environment, within this role, within this organization. So if you know that okay, you've been able to identify that okay, there are internship opportunities, there are things that you can do, there are voluntary opportunities. Because I tell people say it's not. I've worked with a startup for close to 8 to 9 months without any dime, but I needed that experience for my life. I left that I left the startup because of funding. They had funding issue, and I got a job because of the experience I had from that with the startup. I got a full-time role from the experience I had with that startup. So I tell people seek for internship, seek for opportunities, voluntary opportunities. Reach out to people that you can work with. And if you know you've been able to do this, I'm sure you've gathered some level of experience that you can now go for that particular opportunity you want. I think that should answer that question.
Yes, that's quite very, very apt. That's very, very apt and specific. So if you are the one who asks the question, I guess even this question even applies to many of us on the call, because some of us are like just starting our career professionally, and some of us are still even just coming out of school. So it's really, really work well with every one of us. So like he said, if it's to volunteer, yes, do that. And also internship. There are internship you could look out for. So another question I also have here that was stated, and this question really, really signs so well with me, because I hear that a lot of the time, and I don't think I've had the best answer to give. So the question is talking about, it says that what is the best way to improve one's communication and interpersonal skill if you are naturally an introverted person? If you are naturally an introvert.
All right. I think yes. I know we have people in that situation. Now I tell people
Mm-hmm.
Rome was not built in a day. So first, the moment you identify that you have a problem, the beginning of the solution has started. So you know that you struggle with communicating, with interacting. You know you have a problem. Now, what is the best method that you can use? So individual personal traits also plays out. So I cannot give you the best approach to go about, because your personal attribute or personal behavior will also play out. So if you know you are struggling with communication, with interpersonal relationship, start with one person. Look for somebody that you can always talk with about maybe your career. Join a community. So you cannot, if you do not try, you cannot know if you will be able to do it.
Wow.
All you need to is take a step. If it's one person per day that you can speak with, try and speak with them. Join a community. Engage yourself. Create a plan for yourself. Okay, for the next 3 months, I must speak with at least 3 people in a week. It's a goal you set for yourself. Once you don't achieve that, you go back to your goal. Now, I tell people, for a company, for instance, a company that set a target that, okay, our target for this year is $1 million. Until they achieve that target, it remains their target. So if the next year come and they've not achieved that $1 million, it's still that $1 remains their target. So until you're able to overcome speaking to 3 people, it remains your target. I must speak with 3 people in a week. I must contribute in a conversation. Okay, there's a conversation in a community, people are speaking, say something. It doesn't have to make sense in the first instance. If you are waiting for the day it will make sense, you may not be able to make sense. I don't know if you get that. If you are waiting for the day to make sense, you may not be able to make sense. So speak when you have opportunity to speak. Engage a community, engage people, contribute to conversations. You are within your friends. Don't just keep quiet. Or they are saying something, keep in your own ideas. Before you know, people will listen to you. The moment you are able to grab people's attention when you are speaking, that's it. But if you don't start, you will never know how far you will go. So if you can deploy all of these things, set a time for yourself, join a community, contribute to conversations. From there, you gradually build. I say something. A communicator is not born. A communicator is made. Same way leaders are not born, leaders are made. Nobody came to this world and was born a communicator. Some may have the natural tendencies to be able to speak with people. But even if you have natural tendency and you do not develop on that natural tendency, it will die with you. So if you know you have a weakness, the moment you identify it, it's a good thing. Build a structure around stepping out of that weakness and analyzing your strengths.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much so much. Thank you so much. That was a very good answer, because, like I said, I hear this question a lot, and that was really, really a solution. Really, thank you so much, sir. So we have some other questions on the chat box. I'm going to be reading out. Someone said,
Okay.
on emotional intelligence, how do we, as a leader, balance leading people with them, the followers, not taking advantage of us? I hope you understand the question, sir.
Yes, I get that question. And some of the things are is important that you have to know. So leadership style is diverse by people and society. So when you are leading people, what type of leadership method works for your people? Identify that first. So now, if you are working with a team that you know that yes, you have to be autocratic at some point. You have to be, because if you always have to let their emotion get in the way all the time, you have a lazy team. You have a team that will take advantage of you. So the idea is not to always accommodate people's emotion. We are not in that capacity. We may not have that strength to accommodate people's emotion, but we are aware of it. Awareness is the focus. Okay, you know your team members, they are your followers, they sort of go through emotional issues and all of that, and you are aware. Awareness does not mean that you should tolerate all their excesses. You are aware and you can devise the best management style or leadership style to manage their emotion. No, okay, let me start a scenario for better understanding. I work, if you are an individual that's led, I'm not trying to speak against any gender here. Apologies to the ladies on this team. But if you're an individual that's led a lady of just female, okay, maybe you're working with team members that are just female. I can tell you for a fact that you have to be very good with emotional intelligence. And why is that? At every point within the
Mm-hmm.
month, they may come up with things that they are going through, and you still want to drive them to work, but you are aware, you understand. You speak with them, but you also make them understand that the job is important. You are appealing to their emotion, but you also make resounding the importance of the job to their ears. So the moment they know that yes, I have to understand that you are trying to manage my emotion, understand my emotion, but if I don't do the job too, my productivity level will drop. The quality of my work will drop. And you cannot keep giving
Mm.
excuses that it's your emotion all the time. So, and also lastly, preach emotional intelligence to your team. So when you preach it to them, they know what it stands for. They know the importance. They are able to manage their own emotion, and it helps you as a leader. So you're not just the only one that has emotional intelligence,
Mm.
but your team members or your followers also understand the concept of emotional intelligence. So they can manage their emotion, and by managing it themselves, it helps you lead them right.
Mm. Wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So go to the next question so that we don't take much of our time also. Next question says, how do we manage a high demanding boss? It loads you with excess tasks and gives you no room for excuse.
That's the reality
Oh, I see.
of a lot of us when you have a high demand. So the thing is that
Mm.
a high demanding boss is operating in high demanding environment. So
Mm.
understand your business environment. If you are working in a fast-paced environment, a fast-paced business, things are always happening. You have to step up. That is why your boss will be high demanding. So first, understand that it's the nature of the business. As long as there's no any form of abuse within the workplace, if there's a form of abuse, report to your HR. If there's no abuse, but it's always demanding, you are done with this, another one has entered. Before you finish this, another one has entered. It is because of the environment you operate. So can you survive in a fast-paced environment? When they tell people during interview, can you work in a fast-paced environment? You say yes. Can you multitask? You say yes. When it comes to now multitasking, now we struggle because why? We do
True.
not most of us don't understand the work environment we find ourselves. I used to work in a consulting firm, and consulting is a lot of work. You are finishing this work, another client is making this demand. You are done, client is making another demand. If you don't understand that that's the nature of the business, you will think your boss hates you. So you have to understand that it is because of the business. And as long as the demand commensurates the commendation you get or the commiseration that you get for the job,
Mm-hmm.
it's a good thing. So look at that too.
Taking
As much
that.
the job is demanding, does the effort equals the benefits? Does the effort equals the benefits? It's another thing, because people are motivated for different reasons. So if your motivation is pay and there's a lot of work and the pay is cheap, so that your productivity does not drop, I would advise to leave the job. If you know you cannot deliver based on high demands, so to affect your productivity dropping, excuse yourself from the environment. Because you will know you left honorably. You left as a performing staff. You did not leave as a non-performing staff. You were not let go. So know yourself, know the work environment you find yourself, and have the understanding of that work environment, and build the capacity that is needed for that environment. So when you build the capacity, when the demand comes, you have the supply for the demand.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So I only have one other question before we go. And this question is coming from one of the participants. The person said, he said, are there any practical daily habits or activities
I didn't get that
that
question. So you have to
can
come again.
help develop leadership or emotional intelligence? Okay.
Please, can you come again?
Any
I didn't
practical
get that question.
habits?
Okay. Okay, let me check the charts with that. Are there any practical daily habits or activities that can help develop leadership? Yes, 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 yes. They are practical daily habits. See, I used to say something. One of the first practical habits that you have to have as an individual that wants to lead right and wants to be emotional intelligence is first. Do we still have people? Okay. First, identify yourself. Know who you are. See, you cannot give what you don't have. And what you don't know that you don't have, you cannot give. So when you know yourself, now what method best work for you to learn these skills, this habit, to inculcate this habit? Do you have to read daily? Do you have to understudy people daily? Do I need to be under a mentorship or a tutelage? So understanding yourself will help you know the best method that works for you and how you can develop that daily habits that you need. So what when you know yourself, I like leadership skills. I want to develop emotional intelligence skills. What are the daily habits I can inculcate as an individual? Oh, let me daily read something on emotional intelligence. Let me daily read something on that leadership. Let me daily study on leadership. Let me daily study on emotional intelligence. Let me position myself for situations that can help me test my abilities. So it is important because if you are building, you have to know the capacity of what you've built. And you can only know that when you are in a situation where you can test. You understand? So position yourself properly, understudy what works for you. If it's daily studying, if it's daily researching that helps you build this habit, inculcate it. If you have to stay under a mentorship of an individual to be able to build on these skills, you have to follow somebody. If there's somebody you admire so much that is within this phase that's mastered this act of emotional intelligence and leadership, look for them, admire their work, study their work, digest their work. Before you know, you start to build this habit. It becomes a part of you. See, what you associate with is what becomes your reality. See, what you associate is what becomes your reality. Where you find yourself when you are in a situation and you know that this thing is what you need. The moment you begin to associate with that thing, it becomes your reality. It's like the law of the universe. When you, like, for instance, let's say you desire something, I want you guys to try it. Picture a certain car in your mind and you desire that car. I can tell you that week you see that car more than 10 times. It's just the law of the universe. You attract what you interest, what you find interesting. You attract that. So know that okay, you don't have this thing and you want to work, you want to build an habit for it. Speak to those areas, touch those things that needs to be touched. Research, daily work, build a daily plan for yourself. Habits is what you do constantly. You something becomes your habit because you constantly do it. That what makes an habit. So when you constantly do all of these things, walk through it, exercise things that you've learned, practicalize things that you've learned. See how you can better see put yourself in a state where you have a lot of emotions around you, and how do you navigate? What did you do in that moment? Or somebody did something for you that you normally you will react certain way. How will you react after a period of time? So you can be able to evaluate yourself. So it is possible to develop daily habits, but what you have to understand yourself and devise a plan that works for you. I think that should answer that question.
All right. Thank you so much. The network logged me out just about now. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, but I'm back. So I'm not sure we still have any other question. Do we still have any question? Anybody with any other question? Okay. If there is none, there's this question I've been meaning to ask. Maybe I should just ask. They will just call it a night with that. Yeah. So, when it comes to okay, apologies. I'm going to be using a generation here, so they should not be angry. I don't
Okay.
mean any. So so I'm presently serving at a power starter, and there are complaints about a particular generation. They'll say the Gen Z are very stressful. They play the victim game. They are the kind of people that they don't like to work or just look for a faster way of doing things. And they will feel when you tell them to do something, and if they're not doing it well, they will tell you you're stressing them, you're disturbing their mental health and all these things. So in workplace, or should I say, as someone who is so well with working as a resource person, how have you seen this to be and should I say this is an issue obviously, or has it been something you've seen as an issue, and how best can even ones even stand out amongst this whole thing, right? Because also obviously I'm also a Gen Z, right? Yeah, maybe a older one,
All
but
right.
then I'm Gen Z.
I will say this. I will say this. Do the job. See, if you really want to stand out within the workplace, do the job and deliver the optimal quality expected for that job. I tell people, I said, diversity within the workplace is not something we can sideline. The demographics that play out within a working environment has come to stay. So you will always get to work with uh, different generation of people, whether Gen Z, Gen Alpha, millennials, baby boomers, and all of that. You will work with it. So the uniqueness of Gen Z is that Gen Z don't like to take rubbish. They will say once you give them something they don't get it, they will tell you my mental health, they'll tell you I cannot stress myself, I cannot work. See, if you're a professional, you want to advance within your that field. Now I think one of the first things that should play out is what's your goal as an individual, what's your professional goal as an individual. See, if you're somebody that wants to be a true professional and you want to excel in your field, you will not come with a narrative of that's centered around Jay-Z. You will come with somebody that has the passion and wants to deliver values on the job. See, to rise within an industry, to deliver the quality that's expected within an industry, you have to be intentional with your job. While others are complaining, see, there's a level of productivity that you deliver that people will not know that you're a Gen Z. I tell people, do the job, get the job done, deliver the quality of work. While you focus at, see, that's the only way you can rise within the workplace. get a job done and build strategic relationship within the workplace. Strategic relationship. Put yourself at strategic point. Let your work be seen. Let yourself be seen. We have people that their work is seen, but they are not seen. You see, they are that guy that techie guy within the team that always get the job done. But when it comes to being recognized for their interpersonal, that's where the soft skill comes in. Interpersonal skill, they are nowhere you can't find it. You can't. They know it's good. Though. Aside being good, there's nothing more to him. So stand out by the quality of your work and by strategic positioning. That issue around Jay-Z is something that we hear all the time. But I tell people that if you are within that age bracket, deliver the quality of what is expected. People will see you by the quality of your work, but not by your age bracket. People will speak to you, they will resonate with you by the quality of your work, not by your age bracket. We've seen people that have risen to some certain level in their career and they are still at their prime. I'm not, as an individual, I'm not 30 yet, but I lead. I'm in a managerial position. I'm not in my 30s. I'm not even 30. I'm in a managerial position. I'm leading a function within an organization. So if you want to move faster in your career, focus on building the capacity and delivering the values. Forget the narration between that they have with the people within that age bracket. Forget that narration. Focus on your goals. My career goals is to be social person at a certain point in my life. I want to lead a team at a certain period in my life. I need to put in the work. So put in the work, let the work be evidence. Then you are good to go.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Sir Tobiloba, thank you so much. We'd like to say thank you that we called on you and you answered us. Thank you so much. We are really grateful on behalf of the organizers and everyone that have put this together. Thank you. We want to say thank you.
You're
And to
welcome. I
everyone
appreciate
that has
you.
joined this night as a participant, thank you so much. And I hope that this will not just end here, right? Like our speaker said earlier, I said these are not like new things here. What really matters is how that you put to work what you just learned, what you just had, and how that you make it have an important should I say a play out, a very very active play out to you. That's what matters. That's what makes you a different person. So I would like to say thank you once again, sir. God bless you. Thank you so
Thank you very
much.
much. I
Thank you so
appreciate you for
much.
having me.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
So I wish everybody
So
a
I'm
great
going to
night
hand over
rest.
to. Thank you
I don't
so
know
much, sir.
if I'm allowed to leave
Doctor,
the. Am I allowed to leave now?
it's all right.
All
Thank
right.
you so much,
All
sir.
right.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Really appreciate
All
it.
right.
Thank you for your time. God bless you, sir. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Um, I would like to say a closing prayer as we go to bed. Eternal of ages, we thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to learn. It's a great privilege to be here, and we don't take it for granted. Lord, be exalted in the name of Jesus. Lord, we pray that all that's been learned, all that we've been taught, all that we've come, you've all the answers that we've gotten from the questions that have been coming to our hearts. We pray that this shall come to build us up, even in our professional careers, in the name of Jesus. We pray for our speaker as he has taken time to come impact us, that the Lord Almighty will replenish him, impact him also, and shall continue to go higher in his career in the name of Jesus. To the organizers, we like to say, oof, we thank God for how these ones have sacrificed themselves to do this. I pray that the Lord will bless you and bless you more. Thank you so much. For in Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. Please, can we stop recording?
Yes,